Welcome to Terraform, which is one heck of a good-looking map when you throw some creep on it, which may be what happens today. Up in the top left-hand corner, we do have our first of these two Zerg players, our red Zerg, DivineMight. We'll find out if that stands true, because in the bottom right-hand corner, this is teawave. Much easier to pronounce names, I must say. I mean, not that last game, or last series, Asium was particularly difficult to pronounce, but, you know, just a little bit easier. A little bit easier. We are going to be having relatively similar builds opening up until, of course, that gas got dropped down by teawave. He's going to be mixing things up and, of course, going for that much quicker gas. We'll see exactly what he decides to go for. What sort of tech opportunities does he try to exploit with that gas? Of course, we do not have Bacon Infinity with me. You may have noticed that it's awfully quiet when I stop speaking. Actually, maybe there's like some loud pumping music going on. I doubt it, though. So, as you guys have probably guessed, unfortunately, Bacon Infinity is not going to be, at least in game number one. They seem to probably still be stuck in traffic, as I think I mentioned. They were indeed coming back from hell. It's a boot time. I don't know if these particular players ended up watching some of those ZVZ series. I won't make too many references to them, just because, you know, it happened not too long ago. Some of you guys may be wanting to still watch that. But I will tell you, there were Zergs, there were Terrans, and there were Protoss. When and where, I'll let you guys figure that out for yourselves. As you guys probably did notice, we've got ourselves some speed on the way for these players. Always a good bit of speed in by these players. I do indeed just mean teawave. He's also going to be dropping down the Baneling Nest and the Spine Crawler. DivineMight going to be poking forward with a couple of lings, but he's really the sneaky one. He's like, oh, you haven't taken your natural? Ha! I've taken my natural. How about that? So, of course, he's going to be securing his own natural, just doing what he can to slow down the economy of his opponent and to just kind of soft contain him inside his base. He's not necessarily looking to step up and do critical amounts of damage right this second, but, of course, every moment that he's able to deny that hatchery is another better moment for DivineMight. Coming out into this engagement, double the lings for teawave. He gets a pretty good surround. He's going to be able to eat through the forces of DivineMight, trimming out pretty much all... Actually, no, that does actually trim out pretty much every single one of those lings. DivineMight does have a couple of lings on the production tab heading on over. But the Baneling Nest is only just on the way for DivineMight. It's been finished up for a little while for teawave. Teawave immediately into the main base, gets another surround on both, almost the Queen, and on more lings. He gets now nearly a full surround on that Queen, able to clean that up nice and early, and now he's immediately into the drone line. Doesn't even stop to make Banelings. He's just interested in killing drones. Gets himself 4 kills, evening things up, taking his opponent down to now 10 drones to T-Wave's 14. GG comes down. T-Wave able to clean up game number 1 with just a flood of lings. Welcome to Iron Fortress. As you can see from the Zerg logo in the middle of the map, this map is indeed favored for Zerg. So imba that I don't even know if this match matters. Anyways, in the top right-hand corner, going for that drone scout, this is teawave. And in the top left-hand corner, our green Zerg player. This is DivineMight. Nothing against a player who wants to go for that good old scout. Nothing against a player who wants that extra bit of information. As we can see, T-Wave going for that drone scout. And then he's going to be like, all right, well, I guess I'll just drop down my gas and my pool. Scouting south with his overlord first, and then heading over with the drone just to make sure that he's got as much intel as possible. He's going to be losing out on those minerals a little bit there, so that is kind of annoying, but shouldn't be too big of a deal. Of course, gas already going to be coming in. DivineMight keeping his drones on gas past that first 100 for Zergling's speed. Could be looking towards a Baneling nest in not too long. The pool going to be finishing up relatively soon for teawave as the first couple of lings leave the main base of DivineMight and start to make their merry way across the map. With drones there for the potential defense if he has to pull them, teawave with his own reinforcing lings should be fine. He's going to be moving down and taking himself a natural hatchery. Certainly not an early natural, but actually I guess DivineMight didn't quite realize where his opponent was. I guess he thought he was actually in the bottom right-hand corner, it looks like. And the Zerglings all now going to be turning around as that Overlord spotted the drone coming down for that hatchery. Lings going to be coming in. DivineMight dropping down that Baneling nest as well. He wants to know, or wants to get out those Banelings relatively soon. Right now, 12 Lings for DivineMight. Of course, only the 8 of T-Wave. Forces the cancel on the hatchery. T-Wave starts a spine crawler in the main base. Speed is about to be done. And of course, that will allow DivineMight to escape a bit more easily, to get those surrounds a bit more quickly, and of course, to be able to get places just in a little less time. Queen going to be getting targeted down, and of course, Ling's going to be trading out for both players relatively equally. DivineMight now going to be pulling away. Sniping the Queen is nice. This is not Legacy of the Void. Macro mechanics have not been removed quite yet. Unless I guess I just missed those patch notes. But T-Wave going to be moving out from his base. He's going to be, of course, not quite moving out just yet. He does need to hold back a little bit here. DivineMight going to be morphing in those Banelings. 2 Banelings coming in for T-Wave on top of the ramp. They might actually end up finishing right around these Lings. Oh, that was very close pull from DivineMight. He nearly just ate an entire Baneling to the face. Placing a Baneling right near the top of the ramp is quite nice for T-Wave if he's able to just kind of secure that top of that ramp with a couple of Banelings. That's definitely nice. Ling's going to be coming in. Do get targeted down nicely by Oh, that's a huge trade for T-Wave as he's able to get a nice advantage, killing off like 5 Banelings of DivineMight with only 2 of his own. While Ling's now going to be stringing on down. The nice thing for DivineMight is even though he may have lost more Banelings, his hatchery is soon going to be completed. It hasn't even been restarted for T-Wave. Now in that first game, a nice counterattack from T-Wave allowed him to get into the main base and actually get the win, killing off enough drones, killing the Queen, and enough Lings to finish off DivineMight. But now DivineMight is going to have himself a second hatchery. Not that it's quite safe to drone just yet. I mean, he's only on the 17 drones. He doesn't have quite enough to, fully saturate his 2 bases. Not anywhere near that much. But he's almost got that 1 base saturation. Nice Ling hit coming in from T-Wave, getting quite a few Lings with just that single Baneling. And T-Wave has to be very, very careful. Going to be potentially trading out some of his Banelings versus the Banes of his opponent. Gets a nice hit there, cleans up 3 Banelings and some Zerglings. T-Wave dominating the early game fights between these Lings and Banes. One very weakened Ling jumps forward, sacrifices itself for the greater good, and is able to kill off one of the Banelings. The Queen narrowly will be able to kill off that Ling before it actually kills off the Baneling, but a couple more Lings going to be coming in, able to snipe down the kind of 1 Baneling of DivineMight quite nicely. Nice snipe by DivineMight on that Baneling, going to be able to clean that up without too much trouble. The second Queen is going to be potentially taken down as T-Wave right-clicks on it and is now going to be feasting on the drones right into the main base. He doesn't care about that natural hatchery. He's more curious about the main base, getting as many kills as possible into their drones. May need to be pulled to help deal with this, but the Lings popping on out for DivineMight are going to be enough to mount some sort of a defense. Not taking too many losses as DivineMight pushes out T-Wave. And teawave going to be morphing in a couple more banelings as he strings more and more lings across the map. He's like, hey, you canceled my natural hatchery? We're going to be going all for the one base. That's right. If you can win on one base, why get two bases? Oh, no, DivineMight. Don't sacrifice the lings like that, as unfortunately, he's just not quite going to be able to mount the defense. That was actually some much better baneling hits coming out from DivineMight. teawave still has enough lings, but he doesn't necessarily have enough lings to push into the main base and finish off DivineMight. He's going to need either a couple more banes or some more lings, which are indeed stringing across the map, heading in reinforcement wave after reinforcement wave. Down to 15 drones for each player, which actually, DivineMight has lost 6 drones in total, 69 lings as well. And teawave has, by contrast, only lost 51 lings and just the 1 drone. One baneling going to be waddling on forward. He's basically hoping to catch DivineMight, not quite paying enough attention and not quite drawing his lings away carefully to deal with just that one baneling, trying to get as much damage as possible. DivineMight is not able to just deal with these single banelings coming in well enough. He has to be so careful. Whew, like that. He has to be so careful about dealing with those banelings. He's been losing so many lings to just small numbers of banelings. Now, with the natural hatchery on the way for teawave, the Roach Warren is also going to be finishing up in a couple of moments from DivineMight. He's coming in. He's going to be looking, of course, for that just overwhelming number of lings. If he's able to just get a few, well, more than a few more lings than his opponent, then he is indeed just going to be able to overwhelm, splitting off individual lings to try to draw out his opponent. teawave, he's got 4 banelings in the back versus pretty much just 1, but a couple more are morphing in for DivineMight. It's going to be coming down to potentially this as the Queen getting pulled around a nice wall of lings coming out for DivineMight. Baneling's not doing as much as teawave would like, but that's some nice baneling detonations. Cleans up pretty much every single one of the lings of DivineMight. teawave not able to push in. He's not confident. He's going to be going for the natural, but now the reinforcements are out. They're going to be able to clean up the attacking lings. There's more reinforcements coming in for teawave. He doesn't quite have enough to clean up DivineMight, and this kind of pseudo 2-base situation for these players continues. They've got the hatcheries, but of course they are not really mining from them particularly well. Mostly just used for that additional larva, the additional queen, with that additional production. Relatively even on the supply tab, but as you guys can probably tell, the majority of that is, well, not the majority, but a hefty amount of that is going to be the workers' difference in between teawave and DivineMight. And if DivineMight doesn't start doing some pretty good counterattacking of his own, then it's going to just start rolling out of control. Roach is going to be coming in relatively soon for teawave. DivineMight finished up that Roach Warren quite a while ago, but he hasn't been able to make very much use of it. He's been more in just absolute defend mode as he trades out way too many lings against that one baneling, leaving him only 3 attacking lings to try to move in here and do the damage. He's down 14 drones against teawave, which means he needs to do some serious damage to try to reset teawave. He's into the main base mineral line. How many drone kills can he get? The Queen going to be getting defended by these lings. Going to be able to keep off the majority of the damage from DivineMight. Banelings cleaning up the remainder of the lings from DivineMight. And 7 drones have gone down. There's still a 7 drone difference between these two players. DivineMight has done a good job of starting to equalize things. He's been able to buy himself a little bit of breathing room, but he still hasn't really got up that second base economy. And of course, that's where we're starting to see teawave pull ahead, as he's actually going to be at that 2 base economy. He's going to be able to afford more roaches. As we can see, they're probably going to be coming in on the production tab relatively soon. He's going to be able to afford more lings, and potentially he's even going to be able to afford those wonderful things called upgrades, if he does indeed want to get them. Roach speed going to be coming in just beginning for teawave. And for pretty much the first time in this game, this series, these two players have actually calmed down just a little bit. DivineMight, he is a thorough fellow. Down in the bottom, he's got an Overlord. just looking around. He's keeping an eye on that ramp. He's like, if you take a ninja base, I'm going to know about it. Specifically, if you take a ninja base in the bottom right-hand corner, I will know about it. That sends a confident message to your opponent. As Ling's going to be coming in, they're not in high enough numbers to trade out reasonably against those roaches. I guess they could maybe like kill one roach if they had targeted it, but even then, it's not quite a trade that you want to be making in T-Wave situation. Now up 19 army supply, nearly doubling the army supply as he's nearing that 40 drone mark. T-Wave is going to be looking for potentially that final attack. He's built up a pretty strong attacking force. He's even moving in, sacrificing an overlord to get the scout. Maybe not the best idea when you're 83 out of 84, but he's got 3 overlords on the way, and with a couple of roaches already out, it's not too big of a deal. One Baneling walking on forward, and it gets... Not actually sure, because I was tied to Saber's camera, and just as that happened, he ended up pulling away. So I didn't quite see it. Think it got a couple of Lings. Another Spine Crawler going to be coming in for defense from DivineMight. Burrow also on the way. 2 Evo Chambers. T-Wave is looking to the future. He's like, all right, if I don't end the game right now, how can I secure myself a bit of a better future in this particular match? Keep in mind, he does indeed have Roach Speed, while DivineMight does not have Roach Speed. Ends up canceling the Burrow, but he's keeping the Evo Chambers, which means he can start to add on those upgrades for either his Roaches or his Lings, making them more effective. And he's also going to be adding on that third base. Roach is going to be coming in. The numbers are indeed on the side of T-Wave, as you may suspect. Going to be mounting the defense. Baneling's going to be getting some pretty good splash damage, but of course the numbers still far in favor of T-Wave as he crashes through the defense of DivineMight with leftover roaches. Roaches to spare, and nearly 16 attacking alongside of these Lings for T-Wave. Is going to target down the natural hatchery. GG, says DivineMight, and T-Wave goes up 2-0 in this best of 5. Welcome to Passing Overlords in the Night. Welcome to Bridgehead. Welcome to game number 3. You've never seen anything quite like this. Mostly because the ASL Defender League Season 5 quarterfinals have not happened other than in Season 5. So you can't have seen anything like this. On the left half of Bridgehead, our red Zerg player... He needs your cheers. This is DivineMight. And on the right-hand side, the dominating delicious beverage, T-Wave. It occurs to me that dominating delicious drink would have been a more appropriate alliteration to select with that introduction. I'm not sure if it's just me. Nope, it's not just me. How about that? Welcome to the Recover Game screen. That's right, we are ready to get back into the action exactly, or basically exactly, where we left it off. It's pretty much right where the DC happened. There has not been much change. What a cool animation that is coming out from Blizz. Of course, big cheers to them for doing that. To recover from replay is a great function. And every time something like this happens, just weird disconnect scenarios, it's always good to have that. All right, coming in to game number 3, we do have some minor differences showing themselves between these two players. Speed a little bit earlier for T-Wave. Not necessarily going to be a crazy part of this game. Last time, we saw DivineMight do a pretty good job of defending, a pretty good job of holding the line against overwhelming odds, or what looked like overwhelming odds. Until that final Roach push, DivineMight was looking pretty alright on the defense. He has a couple of holes that he's going to need to work on and he's going to need to fix, but and he's going to need to fix them here. I mean, we got a Baneling nest coming in. So dealing with Banelings is going to be pretty darn important. T-Wave going to be heading out with the first couple of Lings. Very likely he'll just pool them sort of outside of the main in sort of a safe area. And then look for a couple to morph into Banelings and see if he can bust down into the main base with just a very minimal number of units. Roach Warren immediately pretty much going to be coming down for DivineMight. He wants that defense. He needs just that little bit of something. DivineMight going to be heading on down, and he's like, oh no, Baneling's right on my doorstep, but my Roach Warren still has 20 seconds to go. One Baneling going to be split off, forcing DivineMight to pull back. He has to be so careful. The defense here, he wants to pull every Ling, and oh, into the drone line. And how many hits will he get? 5 drones down. 2/3 of the drones of T-Wave. 10 to 15. The economy suddenly battered down and broken. Lings can easily finish off a number of these drones with just a couple of hits, doubling the drone kill count, taking it down to 0 as there are no workers left on the map. GG. Good luck in next MD, whatever that means. As we do have T-Wave going to be 3-0ing in just, what, 5.5 minutes? Something like that.
Thanks for watching the video. Please subscribe to support the ASL by hitting the button now.